Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you so very much for joining me. I'm so grateful for your time. So today we have another, pick a card reading as per usual. And today's pick a card reading is going to be since we're in eclipse season, what is eclipsing in and what is eclipsing out of your life? We have a lunar eclipse November 8th in Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. So this energy is going to be about rooting, grounding, solidifying, stability, really setting the foundation for future success, long-term stability. We'll see how Spirit is inviting us into this information. So for pile 1, we have this beautiful geothite or geothite, I think it is. It's a beautiful stone. It is kind of messy. It will blacken my hand, but it is beautiful. The geothite stone has a very high healing vibrational energy. It's about discovering and enhancing your soul life. It's a great aid for artists, writers, musicians. It helps in conjuring the shadow self and seeing the shadow self in a positive light. Beautiful. For pile 2, we have the beautiful onyx. Onyx helps prevent the drain of your personal energy and gives strength during times of stress, confusion, or grief for that matter. It's useful for self-discipline and in healing old wounds or past life issues. Beautiful. That's for pile 2. And for pile 3, we have obsidian. It absorbs, dissolves negative energy, anger, criticism, fear. Therefore, it's a protective stone or crystal, excuse me. It's also a warm and friendly stone. It can be used to help strengthen the root chakra, encouraging one's survival instincts, and in grounding. So my beautiful collective of piles 1, 2, and 3, take a second to connect with one of the crystals. We're going to have a little treat at the end of each reading with these dice that we'll use just to get a quick little last bit of quick responses from Spirit, in other words, a quick answer from anything that might come up by the end of this reading. Okay, my beautiful collective, I hope you've had enough time. If not, please pause, and I will see you at your choice. Ciao. Welcome my pile 1 who chose the geothite. We're going to spread out your cards. Where am I going to leave this bad boy? Let's put him over here. Okay, my beautiful collective of pile 1, let's see what's eclipsing into your life first, and then we'll look at what's eclipsing out of your life. So let's see. What's eclipsing in? Last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. So it feels like for you, my collective of pile 1, what's eclipsing in is more space, more time, more effort, more energy devoted to self-love, self-care, being as selfless with yourself as possible, allowing yourself to engage, indulge, find pleasures, relax, and really replenish is what I'm getting. I'm really getting this sense of, they're showing me like a battery filling up, literally like it's getting recharged. Amazing. And let's see what's eclipsing out. We have emotions are running high, supermoon. So it feels like the completion of something. Maybe this is the reason why there is now space available for you to have more self-love. There is, again, like this sort of, again, it really does feel like that. It's a climax. It's the ending of something. It's the height of something. It's the peak of something. It's the completion. That's what I'm getting. It's really the completion of something where the apex has been hit, and now we are on that beautiful gradual decline that is necessary for the ebbs and flows of life. And right now, that downtime or that ebb time is where you are, is what it feels like, or what you'll be stepping into for this eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse energy coming up for you. I also do feel like you're going to reach like the pinnacle or the pinnacle of a moment or of a situation, of a dynamic in some way. Whatever the conclusion is, I feel like internally you have already made peace. Like whatever that is, whether that's, you know, in the direction of all your hopes and wishes coming true, or in the complete opposite spectrum of it not working out how you planned. Like I still feel, regardless of where you sit in between or on that spectrum, it is already like calm and solidified within self. And that's a really beautiful feeling and a lovely approach to step into this eclipse energy. Okay, let's see what lesson is to be, or what lessons were learned. How did you experience this? What led you to this point? We have the Lady of Wands, which is the Queen of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. The Master of Secrets, which is the Magician. And the Dreamer of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. You know what or how they're describing it to me, I should say? Because if this row is supposed to symbolize the lesson learned and like how you experience this particular lesson, it feels my Queen of Wands energy is you, my viewer, regardless of gender, sex, etc. So it feels like your energy is this this Queen of Wands over here. And it's telling me that you weren't in the past, which is how you learned this lesson, you weren't fighting for what you needed, which was your self-care time, your self-love time. And you kept, they're saying like beating a dead horse, in a sense that your efforts were futile technically, because there actually wasn't the right amount of space, time to maintain some sort of consistency for it to be of benefit to you in the long run, you know? Because you're getting this like full zened out energy over here, trying to find peace, balance, knowing what you're creating from, connected, you know? And then this Seven of Wands here, not sort of fighting for who you are, what your structure is, not standing for your own beliefs in some way, or your own time, your own efforts. And that Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, right? Like, what energy have you been feeding? Not to yourself, because it's in the reverse. You haven't been putting in that work for yourself, to yourself. This is what you've learned, right? Which has gained you some mastery of this particular secret within self. Understanding that you have full capability and full responsibility of how you delegate, manage, and use your time. And have you not been scheduling time for yourself? So now you are re-looking at this Page of Pentacles in the reverse. It's halting, pausing is what I feel like. It's giving me hangman energy, in all fairness, but it's like halting, pausing to be like, okay, I see what didn't work before. You know, I understand what's happening now. Again, coming back to that feeling of that calm within self, already been solidified within the self. Emotions are running high, which is what's exiting, meaning like all of this build up to whatever it is now dissipating. And now you're being able to make time for yourself, this pause. That's beautiful. Okay, let's see what's to be gained from what's coming in for this eclipse energy, which is make time for yourself. Nice. Of course, very fitting. Fifth house, passion. Absolutely. What's coming in for you is that passion, that love, that insight, that spark again. It's that being able to have space again to think about the long lost loves, things like love of exercises, activities, people, whatever the case is. I don't feel like it's necessarily about persons, but it's like things that you've set down because time wasn't available for you to do it, like crafts or baking or going for walks or going for swims, like whatever the case is for you. It's asking you to believe in yourself and put your activated heart into action. And that's what this is, this full activation of the self-love, put it into action. That's coming back into yourself. Again, the passion back into your life for yourself. And I do actually feel like there's sort of like a need for you to let go of this, to let out, not even let go, let out this, it's that teen, tween, adolescent energy is what I'm feeling. You know, that everything's just sort of something to be discovered and created and loved. You know, it's beautiful because your instructions are to play, create, make things beautiful, love, laugh, you know, find that passion again within self. That's beautiful. And what's to be released with this incoming energy? I'm using the release as in its full literal term, meaning that majority of times when we think about release, we think about letting go of something that we shouldn't be holding on to. Well, that's what I think anyway. Generally, that's where the first sort of feeling I get from that word, but I'm using it literally as in what can be released out into the universe, into the world, into yourself, what could be, like I described, needing to be released, let go of, and let it lay where it lays. So we're going to see how these energies play in conjunction with what's already come out here. So we have trine, flow in the reverse. Talks about harmonizing, aids, enriches, benefits, indulges, and supports. So what needs to be released here? Yeah, again, it's finding that flow again, right? The resistance of that flow, which is again making that time for that passion, that adolescent passion, that tween passion, you know? Finding your own rhythm again, your natural rhythm. It's like re-lubricating this part of you to like this part of the machine that had been neglected in some way. Again, re-energizing that part of your heart, activate what has been activated, move from that, and that flow will just be there. That's amazing. Let's see what's to be gained by what's exiting or release, what's exiting your life with this eclipse energy, with emotions running on high. We have Uranus, change, nice. What are you gaining? A big change, big shift, a shocking revelation in some way. I actually feel like it's the revelation in some way with this Uranus energy is really about the self, like how much you've recognized either what hasn't been in your life recently, or what you need to put into your life, what needed to change, what about your character or space wasn't allowing for you to have enough of this time, how are you using that energy? And talking about this whole energy shift, right, about shifting gears, like that time for self-love now, like whatever you've been working at, it's done. Like I really feel like I've reached the end of this project. I can finally take my vacation. That's the energy to sum it up. And you're also able to find solutions to anything that might have been emotionally running high too. Like again, it is, I just keep saying the same thing. It's the end of something. This is what's allowing this thing to come in for you, which is making time for self-love. It's like preparing for this evolutionary leap of like shocking circumstances that work out in your benefit, that force you to engage in gifts you didn't even know you had, to help you transform all of this energy. Recognizing that you are not these external attributes that you've want to and have transformed. You have literally changed, you know? But at the essence, that core, you know, that divine spark that is you, that has been reignited, has always been you. You know, you still remain you at the core. It's just that this change needed to happen for the evolution of that spark, the growth of that spark. Amazing. And let's see what needs to be released within what is ending in your life. Or maybe we can also talk about like big shifts and changes may not be the big thing anymore, or may not be affecting you as much anymore. Like there's no more like tsunami waves coming in is what I feel like for a while. It just feels like it's the shifts, all the bigger things that needed to happen or shift have happened. Getting back to this, what is being released? And it says Chiron healing. Perfect. Again, this is like what's being released out into the world is how much you have healed or what you're going to be stepping into is that healing, which I feel like you're already doing, which is that self-love, right? That self-care, that time for self. Like, again, healing the past versions of neglect on self. You know, mending, excuse me, those moments of guilt or shame, or not, again, feeling like it was you were worthy of, or you should be taking that time off because such and such still needed to be done. It's like cleansing that energy, that aura, and coming back into that softness of you. It's beautiful. It's really lovely personal development here. Okay, let's see how to integrate these lessons here, the ones that you've already learned, what you've already experienced. We're taking 2 cards per tarot. So over the Queen of Wands, we have the 6 of Wands and the King of Cups in the reverse. Over the 7 of Wands, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Wands in the reverse. Over the 8 of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups in the reverse. Over the Magician, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Oopsie. Over the over the Page of Pentacles, we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Oh, and the Ace of Swords. Underneath the deck, we have the 4 of Swords in the reverse. So, my collective of pile 1, what I'm feeling here is how you need to integrate this lesson here, which is we're learning from each card here individually for how to integrate this, yes? So Lady of Wands being your particular energy, what you were embodying prior to this eclipse energy. So some of what's coming in, oh wow, sorry. They just told me like a blind victory. And they said like it wasn't satisfying in the sense because of the fact that even though you got things done and everything, you feel there's a sense of feeling really depleted. It's an energy of I'm fine. That's what it is. That's exactly what the energy is. I'm fine. No, I'm good. I'm fine. I can handle it. I'm fine. So you were trying all these things just to calm, to be able to handle all these emotions, but like it feels like a little bit, apologies my lovelies, a little bit of the ego came into play here, and assuming that you didn't either need to ask for help or that you could just handle it on your own. Not to say that you couldn't, but it was like it was unnecessary is what they're making me feel like. But I also, in the same breath, I also do feel like you are gaining victory over the emotions that were out of balance prior. So how to integrate that is that it's to find the balance within the emotion. Delegate that time for yourself more victoriously. With the 7 of Wands, did I show you these? I'm not sure if I did. Apologies if I didn't. 6 and the King of Cups. 6 of Wands and the King of Cups. And then over the 7 of Wands, we have this Knight of Pentacles. And the King of Wands in the reverse. So again, when we were talking about not standing up for what you needed for yourself in some way, not being an advocate for yourself when it comes to needing that time or speaking up for yourself. But it does feel like about a lack of action. You know, it was just, I'll put it off until, that's the energy. I'll put it off until I have this time. I'll put it off until this. You know, I'm not, it's okay. I can handle it. That's what I keep getting. Like, I'm fine. And Spirit's echoing, no, you're not. You were not fine, you know? You could handle it, sure, but does it mean that you need to take on all that responsibility? Hell me the frickin' no. Because it definitely made you feel a little bit isolated, left out, can't participate in things, don't have enough energy to do things, maybe don't have enough resources because all of my time, any type of resources, is put into something else. Therefore, neglecting my actual needs with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. You know, not actually being satisfied with what I'm doing or what I'm getting out of what I'm doing. Feeling like I'm putting in more than I'm getting out. So how you're integrating that is understanding. It's the recognition of that. That's what I'm feeling here. It's a recognition. There's so many court cards in here. Like so many people is what I'm also feeling. Like especially in a row. Like 1, 2, 3. And then there's one right here, 4. So like, again, there's a lot of energy. That's what I'm saying. A lot of outside external energies being imprinted on this particular phase for you. You know, so I'm really feeling that how to integrate this is to just keep diligent about this new change in you, you know, about solidifying this time for yourself, recognizing your emotions, know when you need to pull away, when you can still engage, you know, with that Magician, which is what you go into, which is that Queen of Pentacles energy, sturdy, grounded, understanding your mastery, your magic, still afraid somewhat to actually take action on that knowledge though. That's what I'm getting. Or you might be afraid to take action once this has fully been understood within the body, you know, in the body. Because that Page of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands in the reverse, still kind of holding on to that last little bit of burden. You know, whatever that last leg is, which is that resistance of that flow, why the flow came out in reverse. You know, but you're finding that truth. Clarity is coming in. Like I said, like you are on the precipice of, excuse me, you know, of coming out of that phase of movement, and being able to go into the Four of Swords upright, which is that rest, relaxation in that time. You're really coming out of it. So how to integrate that is really about balancing, speaking your needs, speaking what you need to yourself also, and listening to what you're being told. And just a reminder that all of this, I think you know this, I don't even think you need that reminder, to be fair. Like, it's just about integrating this particular new vibration of you, this change. How you're integrating it is recognizing your emotions, being much more attentive to them, taking your time, and understanding that this is a process, and looking at the things that are making you maybe feel disempowered in some way, whatever and however that might be. And the Eight of Pentacles with that Five of Pentacles, again, like recognizing that I'm the one that needs to satisfy myself. Not to sound in a selfish way, like I said in the beginning, the most selfless way of being selfish. You know, that's what you need right now, is to recognize that, and that it's not, it's going to sound kind of like dry, but it's a matter of not relying on anybody to fulfill you. You know, like what you give out, I feel this is a big energy for you. Like what you give out, you somewhat subconsciously assume that it will be reciprocated in some form. But I'm finding within this energy that you don't usually get back that tentative possibility or that potential, either within the time frame that would be understood that was sort of the give and take, or it just doesn't weigh in the same. I don't know how else to describe that, but that's the energy I'm feeling. Okay, let us see, what is your challenge with all of this eclipse energy? Release and renewal. Yeah, that's it. That's literally exactly what we've been talking about. Something is finished, change, and there's a renewal of you. This spiritual shift in you, that personal growth, that personal development. It's that retrieval of self, that self realization. again, that releasing of the old version of you, of the old beliefs, of the stifling of emotions, of not satisfying what your soul's been asking you for. It is it's a pouring back into self, you know, coming back to that flow within self, to integrate that passion, to embrace this change of self-love. I love that. And what is your gift? Oh, wow. Look at that. Power of attraction. It only brings in more beautiful people, better connections, much more healed energies is what they're also telling me. I'm going to read a small passage from the book for your gift. I'm going to read the first paragraph. They said, there is such wonder awaiting you. There are so many beautiful advantages and so much magic yet to be. Can you keep your heart open to what is coming towards you without surrendering your experience of this moment by becoming too future-oriented? You see, there is magic in this moment too. There is something arising within you out of the depths of your being. In this process, there is a gift, an environment both internal and external. A fertility is being stimulated. That heart activation, that's it. You release this old version to renew into the version you are becoming, to attract everything you want in your life, what you desire, what you're seeking, the partners you're seeking, the people, the money, the love, the place. So this beautiful, you have a nice arc to your reading, or to your energy is what I'm getting at. It's really lovely. Okay, this is awesome. Let's see what your advice is. Horseshoe, good luck. Nice. Take care. There will be loss of material wealth with the shark. I feel like you're blessed. I feel like you've already done that, right? And then problems to be resolved. Ink pot. Again, this is where I feel like you are. I feel like this is exactly it. Like, this is what's coming in for you, is this time. This is this good luck. And take care. I don't feel like it's necessarily about financial loss per se, but it can be depending on whatever this dynamic was. But again, I feel I keep coming back to resources. Resources can be time, money, effort, energy, however you want to put it. But the resources of you is what I'm getting at, and that's what this feels like. Take care, self-care, self-love, or there will be a material loss, your energy depleted, health, that kind of stuff. So that healing, that change, this is what you've recognized, hence this meditation energy I'm getting, attracting what you need within self, lining up with your divine masculine feminine energy to reunite again with self. It's beautiful. Okay, so your full closing messages. You can ask a quick question if you like. I'm going to sort of put them in a sentence. These are the responses. So we're going to, whatever lands, let's say within this circle over here, we're going to roll it 3 times and reduce the numbers. So we have a 6, and a 5, which is 17. We reduce them if they pass 19, sorry. So 17 says act fast. Then we have an 8, a 2, and a 4, which is 14. And it says, seek the truth. Act fast, seeking the truth. I love that. And then we have 2 7s and a 2, 14, 16. And it says, seek aid. So act fast, seeking the truth, and seek aid to find this truth. Look for that guidance and wisdom. That is what Spirit is telling you during this beautiful time of your eclipse season, my collective of Pile 1. I'm sending you so much love. I hope that these messages resonated with you. Please let me know. Leave me a like. Give it a like, or let me know in your comments. I love reading about them. It really brings me joy. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love. Keep watering your lives. Ciao. Welcome, my beautiful pal 2 who chose the onyx. I'm going to put you over here. And we're going to spread out your cards. Okay, my beautiful collective of Pile 2, let us see what eclipse energy is coming in for you first. Full moon in Pisces, forgive. So my collective of Pile 2, it seems that what is coming in for this eclipse energy for you is forgiveness. I'm feeling a heavier sense of forgiveness of situations and people, more so than self, but also self is included in this forgiveness energy. I'm hearing a balancing out of your emotions and setting healthier boundaries. Understanding what your personal limits are and triggers. They're saying forgiveness of overreactions and words spoken out of spite or anger and fear. They're saying understand the change that is occurring within you is much deeper than can be realized in this present moment. I'm getting a lot of, I'm getting a lot of red flowers. I'm not sure if it's poppies in particular. But poppies also, poppies have two energies for me. It's death and regeneration, rebirth energy, and also about memory and remembrance. So I feel like it's about forgiving something that either really hurt you. For some of you, it was out of the control of both energies or people involved. For some, it's a forgiveness of a lack of character development, tactless behavior. And there's a sense of forgiving yourself for feeling less than what you really deserve. Okay, let's see what's eclipsing out of your life. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. Got a lot of water Pisces energy for sure. Neptunian, Plutonian type of vibe. Jupiter, of course, I know Pluto doesn't rule Pisces, but there's a very plutonic type of energy. So what's eclipsing out is you thinking about, should I or shouldn't I forgive? What should I do about the situation? It's a releasing also, meaning of the grip it's had on your emotions in particular. So I'm feeling like whatever you had been in some sort of incubation period or contemplative state that has now completed or will be completing with this eclipse energy, and that's what's phasing out of your life. You're not having to think about what to do anymore or to forgive or not forgive. But I do feel like it's just, in some capacity, there is forgiveness with a person and or forgiveness with self and environment. Okay, let's see how the lesson was learned. Like, how did you experience this? What led you into this place right now? We have the Three of Wands in the reverse. The Six of Pentacles in the reverse. The Ten of Swords in the reverse. The Eight of Cups. And the Lord of Swords, which is the King of Swords. Ooh, Spirit said, what you've learned is wow, they said it real strong too. They said that you have learned now that you cannot wait for the apology of another to make you feel better or heal a situation or feeling within self. That's your number one lesson that I'm getting, like, straight off the board. It's like you're not waiting for somebody to give you what you need to heal. You're bringing in the balance for yourself, understanding that this waiting for somebody else to validate your feeling of suffering in some way is not helpful for your actual forgiveness of self or for the healing, which made you realize what you need to walk away from, which is this Eight of Cups, this energy of, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for somebody else to give me what I'm needing for me to move on. That's that Lord of Swords. You've come to clarity about that, understanding, knowledge, clear diplomatic, rational, practical approach to what you have learned emotionally from all of what has gone on to lead you into this. What's coming in is forgiveness. Yeah, you've let go. That's what it is. Like again, this thing again, meditate and contemplate. Like you've let go of thinking about it anymore, of waiting for it, of hurting from it on a very, very deep level, mentally and emotionally. You know, well, if not all, like a good chunk of it for sure. And like I said, November 8th, if you didn't listen to the intro, is roughly around when this eclipse energy is coming in. This one that I'm doing it first, but whenever you see this, please apply it as it would, as it will. So, and again, we were talking about that Taurus energy of where this moon eclipse is happening is about that stability, right? And that stability is now within the self, gained. Understood. I love that. Okay, let's see what's to be gained from what's eclipsing into your life. Virgo, digest. Yeah, absorbing the information, understanding the lesson, integrating the belief, nurturing the part of you that was not nurtured, that was neglected, that was malnourished, is how they worded it. And you are discovering what needs to be sorted, organized, reorganized, edited, you know, which is this forgiveness energy. And it's an understanding of now focusing on appreciating the value of each moment, of each encounter, and not looking at the faults of each interaction, of each opportunity or crisis. And they're also talking about don't forget to feed this energy too, right? Like to feed into that forgiveness, which is probably going to be one of my next readings, something along this forgiveness or solitude line. It's that feeling of needing to cultivate what you're developing, to not just frivolously go into it, but to really integrate what it is that you are learning about this forgiveness vibration. They're asking you to look for the details of how things fit together, the patterns of yourself, the cycles of your own emotions, and how you forgive, how you release, how you let go, how you love again, how you don't become jaded by difficult past experiences. And again, learning how to perceive with the mind, body, and soul, not just with the mind, or not just with the heart. Okay. What's to be released? And I'm using the released energy in the most literal sense. As I described, I think in pile 1, well, yeah, I only did one pile. As I described, I'm using that release energy in its literal sense, as I said, excuse me, meaning that it can be a release of something to let go of, or release that needs to be set out into the universe, to the world, and to yourself. So we'll see how this plays out based on the energies that have already come out. And quintux, complexity in the reverse. Yeah, so you're coming out of that. Like I said, you are digesting this information now, no longer puzzled or mystified or confused or complicating your own emotions and thoughts. You know, you're transforming all of what once was from this forgiveness energy. You know, this transformation and in adjusting within one's emotional being, within one's mental dialogue, letting go of the contradictions within self and within environments or situations, releasing the clashes. That's really what it is, releasing the clashes within and within the environment, just letting it be. That's good. Okay, let's see what you're what you're gaining from what is eclipsing out of your life. Saturn, structure. Yeah, absolutely. Gaining a better structure of yourself, of your environment, of your emotions in particular, of your life, but heavily about emotions, spiritual connections, unspoken things, the psychic energies, in other words. Like, again, speaking of structure, right? I think Saturn's a perfect energy for this for this eclipse energy. Building a better foundation within self. You know, the structure is now more aligned is a better energy. You know, it's in a better frequency. And it's your step up, or your level up into the next level of your own maturity, which is that beautiful Lord of Swords, also understanding that energy, moving from it, gaining the wisdom from it. And again, there's a sort of ask to talk to your spirit guides, look for a mentor, get into a sort of spiritual practice if you're not already. So keep expanding, keep growing. And be careful not to cling to old concepts, or successes for that matter. Asking you to know your gifts and your limitations. I think you're discovering this is what I'm gaining. That's what you're learning, to know your gifts and limitations. This leveling up is definitely all about self-empowerment for you when it comes to this forgiveness energy. It's a really big release for you, and I think it's a big deal. Okay, speaking of release, what needs to be released, or what should be released with this exiting eclipse energy? And again, same type of release. Aries, the radical. In the reverse. And you know what they're giving me with Aries, the radical, of what needs to be released with this eclipse, what's eclipsing out of your energy, excuse me, is that novice. Because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and they're making me feel like the baby of the zodiac. And speaking of maturity, which is that Saturn energy, which is a leveling up. No longer like radically or impulsively or naively approaching situations, or giving up of self in some way, of calming or taming that fiery energy within you, of understanding how to use that fierceness, or that fierce, abundant, action, masculine type of energy. And it's allowing yourself to be more assertive with yourself and with this new structure. You know, it's perfect. It's like what needs to be released. You need to let go of the novice mentality, in a sense, and step into this maturity that you are gaining, which is what's coming in for you, which is this forgiveness energy. Very beautiful. Amazing. Let's see how to integrate this new vibration that you're in much more. Period. Just integrate it much more. I was going to say effectively, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 cards per card. Over the 3 of Wands, we have the 4 of Cups in the reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Over the 6 of Pentacles, we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, and Temperance. I was literally thinking about that card when Aries came out too. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. This literally came out in pile 1, I think in the exact same order, and possibly in the exact same spot. That's interesting. Pile 8 of Cups, 3 of Wands upright this time, and the the Knight of Swords, or the Page of Swords, my apologies. No, the Knight of Swords. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the Page of Swords, my apologies. And the Moon. Underneath the deck, you have the High Priestess. So we're going to take these energies individually per card. So how to better integrate this vibration that you are stepping into when it comes to, again, the lesson learned, right? So if we're talking about the 3 of Wands, of this no longer waiting for the apology, right? No longer waiting for an opportunity, or missing something in some way. That it's feeling like releasing the idea that the possibilities are out of your hands, or the change can happen that's out of your hands, or the feeling is in somebody else's hands, in some other words. And I'm getting that you've understood that it is not. with the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, and trying to find that balance again. There's something about either a past upbringing, past experiences, how you've learned to navigate in connections in general, in any type of connection. And there has been a sense, I feel more heavily in your past, about an overgiving of doing too much, you know, and needing to forgive yourself for that, forgiving yourself from where you may have picked up that particular characteristic or archetype, and now recognizing it to balance out that energy again, to bring it back into balance for yourself. Again, not using the help of anybody else besides spirit to get you into this new phase. And that Ten of Swords in the reverse, not quite ready to fully... I don't think it's not quite ready. I think your mental game is so strong that they're still fighting you a little bit. But that Ten of Wands is saying that you're at the end of this burden, of holding on to this burden. So again, with that Ten of Wands upright and the Ace of Wands in the reverse, not quite there yet, but it's there. Like, it's literally at the precipice. You were at that threshold. So take that leap, which leads you into that Eight of Cups, knowing when to walk away, what to walk away from, making that plan now to step into your own wants, desires, energies, and stepping into it clearly. You know, clear thought, ingenuity is what the word they're giving me. And then that leads you into that King of Swords energy with this beautiful Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Excuse me, sorry. I didn't show you all the other cards. And the Moon. So I'm getting this understanding of self, of recognizing the emotions, of knowing what to do now stepping forward. Emotional maturity is what is happening for you, in particular for this eclipse season. What is eclipsing out is overthinking about things, of second guessing things, of allowing the emotions to take over or to take precedence over your rational mind in some moments, you know? So what I'm getting here is how you're integrating it is to take your time to step into this energy of being fully self-expressive when it comes to the emotions. It's still going to take you some time, and not long. I don't feel like it's long, but there's still a little bit more push to go, in other words, so that you really feel this, you know, that you're living from this energy, that you're not just speaking it, but living it. And especially knowing that secret now, knowing the truth with that, the High Priestess at the bottom of your deck here. It's lovely. Okay, so let's see then what your challenge is within these eclipse energies. Inner unity, yeah. Like integrating this forgiveness energy, restructuring of your emotional capabilities of understanding. And this forgiveness, we already talked about it being like a choice of whatever the case is. I need to forgive this within myself, forgive this within the people, unity within the self. There's a choice to be made with inner unity between something old and something new, or someone old and someone new. And we did talk about this forgiveness, of how you're digesting this information, no longer clashing with those ideas of mind and heart, not moving from that novice energy and moving from a much more mature place, especially emotionally speaking. It's also bringing you harmonious understanding, this inner wisdom, if you allow it to tap into your heart's desires. So the decision needs to be made within self and within, and without, the decision needs to be made within self and with the environment or energies around you. There's an inner harmony being available to you, even though it's a challenge to get there. But that's what you're approaching, is that inner harmony, which is that forgiveness, which we've been talking about. Amazing. Let's see what the gift is. These eclipse energies. Shock of the new. I feel like you have 6 pretty prominently in your reading. So harmony again, is this a 6? Yeah, that's a 6. That's a 6. Yeah, this is another 6. Yeah, so there's like this, again, this shock of the new you, this maturing of you, this vibration of light is what they're giving me. It's a harmonic vibration of light. Wow. Okay, I'm going to read you the first paragraph from the book here. What wild, unconventional voice is calling to you? Can you hear it? It is so different and so unusual, it might be hard to decipher, like hearing an unfamiliar language for the first time. It might be hard to discern with great clarity now, but there is an affinity between you and this strangely beautiful newness seeking to manifest. Something new will break through, and the process of this birth may be a shock to you. It will transform into great joy and a sense of tremendous liberation. But you must bear the strangeness first. That's perfect. You must bear the strangeness first. The strangeness of stepping into this new persona, this new feeling, this inner unity. Again, understanding, and literally is a perfect word, is the digestion of this information for you, of this wisdom, that you step into the vibration of forgiveness. It's awesome. I love that. Okay, let's see what your advice is. We have staff. You'll be taken care of in difficult times. I think that's spirit. Absolutely, but it can be literal too. Happiness. Yeah. Absolutely on the horizon for you, my beautifuls. And table, hard work ahead. Sure. We know this. We know there's hard work ahead. That's nothing new, as being humans. And especially if you're on a spiritual path, there's always going to be hard work ahead, but beautiful progress always made. So yeah, so you will be taken care of in difficult time. This is this forgiveness energy. This is what you're digesting. This is what Spirit's bringing in for you. And this happiness energy is what you're going to be stepping into, that shock of the new. Because of that hard work ahead and past hard work is also what I'm getting. This is this hard work ahead energy, what I'm feeling. The Ten of Swords in the reverse, the Ten of Wands, and the Ace of Wands in the reverse. That's that. And then you recognizing how to express your emotional truths to yourself and to your environment. Not meaning like you have to express it to your environment, but being like you're moving from that energy, therefore your environment is going to reflect that energy back to you. Amazing. Okay, so to close off your messages for real, we're going to use the dice, as I said. Anything under 18, we are going to deduce the numbers. So we're rolling these 3 times to sort of get a sentence. You can ask a yes or no question if you like, or I'm just going to piece this together in connection to what has already been spoken about. So first one out, you have 3, 5, and a 7. So you have 12 here. And 12 says it's a gamble. Okay. Then we have a 6, a 7, and an 8, which is, I think it's a 23, which is a 5. Great fortune. So it's a gamble, but great fortune can be had. And then we have a 6, a 4, and a 2, which is 12 again. Comes back to it's a gamble. That's so funny. It's a gamble, great fortune, but it's a gamble. You know, and that's what this is, a shock of the new. Be uncomfortable with the strangeness of it all. That's what they're asking you to embrace, just this forgiveness energy. I feel like you might almost be shocked about how much you're like, I'm not as bothered as I thought I was going to be, or I'm forgiving much more easily, or something about it. I think you're kind of going to be shocked on how you actually handle this new transformative energy within you, this new structure within you. Oh my goodness, my collective of pile 2. I hope that was helpful and it resonated with you. If it was in any way, please let me know. Give it a like. Give it a comment. I'd love to read about it. It brings me a lot of joy when I get to read about it. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, keep watching your lives. Ciao. Welcome, my pal 3, who chose the obsidian crystal. We're going to put you over here and spread out your cards. Okay, my collective, let's see what is eclipsing into your life first. Okay. Full moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. So it seems like, my collective of pile 3, What's eclipsing into your life is a better sense of flow, a sense of ease, a sense of understanding when to pull back energy and when to put in effort, an acceptance of where one is, a deep sense of allowance is the word they're giving me, a sense of calm and stillness. And I'm feeling like they're giving me like a boulder, like a rock boulder in the midst of a storm. And this boulder, like, it's very similar shape to this crystal that I'm holding on. It's like it's anchored down, and I'm seeing like a tornado all around. And you're this anchor, you're this rock right now. And I know it's talking about embracing the flow, but there's a steadiness within you that no matter what turbulence might be happening around you, again, this allowance and acceptance is so deep and so integral or visceral, might be the better word, that I guess that belief, that faith of being in the flow is unshakable. You know, so it feels really good. And it feels like it's because of struggles, it's because of conflict, it's because of past experiences, past events, self-sabotage, they're telling me. A fear of one's own power. Wow. That's beautiful. So this embracing this flow, this frequency that you're in the midst of now or about to enter your life. So that's what's coming in. I feel like a calm within this, whatever's happening in your life. Okay, let's see what's eclipsing out of your life. Nice. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. Absolutely what I was feeling. You know, absolutely. Again, that what's leaving your life is the chaos is what I'm getting at. I guess that's why they gave me that symbology of that boulder and the storm. It's like once this passes, you will still be unshakable in a sense, but much wiser, much more grounded, much more stable within self. This was all a very difficult lesson for you. And the process of how to get to where you are or where you will be was definitely not easy, and I can feel that. So a personal issue reaches resolution is awesome for what's eclipsing out of your life. Yes. Let's see what lesson was learned. Like, how did you experience this? What led you into the place, or why is this influx of embracing the flow, and why is this personal resolution leaving or coming to a conclusion? We have the Seven of Cups. The Four of Cups. The Ace of Wands in the reverse. Two of Pentacles. And the Three of Swords in the reverse. So what I'm getting here, pile 3 of the lesson learned, or how you experience this particular lesson. The Seven of Cups here talks about like a long period of confusion, disappointment, inability to see the way out in this particular deck. Like it strongly emphasizes that energy. And then the Four of Cups also talks about that long period of discontent and troubles and obstacles. It talks about unrealistic views, the Seven of Cups here. And it can also talk about severing ties from relationships, or yes, there's a lot. Like I said, these two together, there's a heavy energy. That's what I was feeling from the beginning. Like it was a battle. It was a long period of time. It was it making me feel like a lot of suffering, you know? And there is this emergence out of this energy. Like it took a while. It might have 4 to 7 years might be very significant on the time frame of this particular issue, because this Four of Cups is also saying like the dark must be endured before you step into that light. And that Ace of Wands being in the reverse, being like it's ready, but it's maybe just not fully, like I said, viscerally in the body somehow, or it's not fully integrated yet. But it's definitely, like I said, what's coming in, right? So this is what you've learned, how you're learning it, the lesson being taught. And this Two of Pentacles, learning how to balance what, you've learned from your past and practically use it in your future. Again, which is this embracing the flow of no longer resisting and trying to control things too much. They said getting overly swept up in details also. That leads you into this energy of the Three of Swords, which is that healing, that releasing, that breaking the chain. The embodiment of stepping into the flow, of not resisting, of allowance. But it does feel like you went into like a really heavy period of depression, illness, sickness, delusion, you know? Like you recognize this, couldn't quite get out of it, we're trying to balance it, and then it's like all the realizations just threw you in the, it feels like they threw you under the bus. It's like, oh my God, I feel for you. They're giving me a heavy Gemini energy in particular. You don't have to be, but there's something about this. Like it's like understanding or recognizing what needed to be fixed. Again, personal patterns. It's been a cycle for a very long time for you, and maybe even since childhood, they're just saying right now. And again, you've done the work, tried to whatever, done all these things again, trying to control instead of trying to embrace the flow. You know, that's leading to the resistance of this new start, the blockage of this new start with that Ace of Wands. Again, still trying to integrate it into what you're doing, which is the work that needs to be done, right? Really viscerally understanding what the lesson is, which is now, or has, spiraled you into this, what the F? I don't know how to get out of this now. It's like, it's almost like, it feels like an overstimulation, like a sensory overload. That's what I'm getting. Like too much information, and that's what I think why you're this rock now. Like because of you understanding, or in the process of understanding this lesson, you become this stable, beautiful rock amongst the chaos of your thoughts, you know, of your emotions, of the self-sabotage, of the what ifs. You know, you come to that personal resolution within the self. Woo, pile 3, this is deep and heavy. Wow, okay. Let's see then, what's to be gained by what's eclipsing in your life with these energies. Opposition, confrontation. They said learning how to confront your emotions in a mature way, not running away from them. And also learning how to master the mind. They just said you've been running away from conflict for a large portion of your life, which has not enabled you the tools or the skills required for you to feel confident in approaching battles. There is a necessary friction around you. Again, the same energy, for you to embrace this flow. It's like, will you confront your emotions this time for real? Will you not run away from how deep this is making you go, or asking you to go? Allowance. And I feel like you come to a breaking point if you haven't already, and I feel like majority of you have if you're watching this pile. and you're like, okay, I give up. That's the energy. I'm like, I surrender. And it's give up in the most defeated way, but like still like, it's like that glimmer of hope where you're like, fuck, I'm done. Like, I'm done. But I can still see that spark. Like, I can feel it. I can see it too. Okay, what's to be released? I'm using released energies in the most literal sense. Again, can be about what needs to let go of, like the grip of, or actual situations, people, things. Or it could just be the release, like what needs to be released, set out into the universe, into yourself, etc. So I'll use the energies as they come out. First house, self. Yeah, what needs to be released is a recognition of self, your own powers, your personal outlook on life, your options, this awakening within you, the self-awareness, the arrival of you. That's what needs to be released, quite literally. The gateway into this flow is through you. So release it, let it out. Get it into this world. Amazing. Okay, let's see what's to be gained from what's eclipsing out of your life. Chiron, nice. Heal, that's perfect. Of course, that's exactly what we've talked about. Really going into the deeps and the depths of the root causes of these issues, of these patterns, of these situations you've entertained, allowed, subconsciously or unconsciously or consciously. The space for the healing to really begin, so that you can really step cleanly and freshly into this new path, into this old calling, but with a new invigorated spirit. Oh, wow. Oh, there's a merging of the yin and yang in within you. And I definitely feel like if you are missing some sort, or feeling, I should say, a yearning or a missing for some sort of partnership, you can take that partnership however I mean it, or however the word can apply, romantic, platonic, business, otherwise. There's an amazing union of truth that comes in. And again, that can be within self, with another, but I can feel it. I can feel the black and white energy, the swirling of the two, and that truth in between, that light beam that anchors it both, like those serpents around that caduceus or catechus. It's beautiful. Man, you got 2 cards to let us know what's being released from what's being eclipsed out of your life. First is action. They said read them together. I will. And then the next is Pluto. Yeah, transformation. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like what needs to be released. I feel that they're saying this transformation of the healing needs to be put into action. Like, again, released out into the world. That action, that forward motion of this transformation can now fully be utilized. This incubation period, for however long it has been lasting, I feel that if you allow yourself to really immerse yourself in this dark, heavy place of feeling, of thoughts, of emotions, of past, it will be a quicker journey than what this has felt like. This, because of the control, because of the resistance, because of the confusion. You're stepping into the dark purposefully now, instead of blindly walking, trying to fix what you cannot see because you didn't recognize the pattern in some way to allow you to step into the flow of yourself, for you to resolve this issue within and without. And now I feel like if you just sit, my loves, sit in that, feel that, and then use that now, because you'll be able to see clearly. You'll be able to look at it now from a place of sereneness, of tranquility, of that steady rock amongst that chaos. You'll be in that flow because you're going to embrace it this time. That's amazing. So how to better integrate this vibration that you're going to be in, that you're in. We're going to take 2 cards per tarot. My battery is on low, so if it cuts out, forgive me now. I'm just going to use it till it dies. Let's have this one. So we have the Hermit in the reverse, and the Strength card in the reverse. They have the Page of, the Page of Cups over the 4 of Cups, with the King of Swords in the reverse, over the Ace of Wands in the reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles, and Judgment over the 2 of Pentacles. We have Death in the reverse, and we'll take that back. And the High Priestess. We're seeing the Emperor also. And over the 3 of Swords, we have the 8 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. We have the King of Cups at the bottom of your deck. So what I'm getting here from how to better integrate this vibrancy, or this vibration that you are or will be in, individually with each card, the 7 of Cups, and we're talking about this Hermit energy coming out of that cave, so to speak, like we talked about with that 3 of Swords at the end there. Still maybe feeling a bit fragile, but still going forward anyway. Find that strength within you to know that you can move from the lesson and the wisdom being gained, because it is no longer coming from a false perception. The 4 of Cups with the, I'm sure you want to see the cards. I may have forgotten another group, so I apologize. And the Strength card. Sorry. And then for the 4 of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups and the King of Swords in the reverse. And what I'm feeling here is, again, an apology within self, an understanding, a recognition of where the emotions were, of how you were trying to control so much of most of the struggle. Most of your wants didn't come to fruition in the way or at all because of this reluctancy to trust in spirit and in your own ability, again, not going with the flow. So we have now, that leads you into that Ace of Wands, not quite ready, that energy's kind of blocked, but slow progress, right? That the Page of Pentacles with Judgment. Again, slow movement, getting another opportunity to get a crack at this, to kick this habit, to kick this addiction to way of being, or to get caught up in certain energies, dramas, dynamics that you've really truly outgrown. You're getting that opportunity again. So integrate that. That's how you use it. Take your time and really look at, pause, re-examine, reorganize, as they say. And then the 2 of Pentacles, over the 2 of Pentacles, you have Death in the reverse with the High Priestess. They just said you're learning to not shut out your intuition anymore. You've been doing it for too long. Again, this coming back to that control energy, that King of Swords in the reverse. You're like, I'm not going to shut it out anymore. I'm not going to shut it down or disbelieve. I'm going to really trust and believe. And me knowing that means that I have to accept what has happened and where I am. And that brings us to that Eight of Pentacles, and the 5 of Cups. And in this deck, the 5 of Cups, like in my feeling of the energy for this dude, he's just looking at a past. I don't feel there's any sorrow about what has spilled or what's been left. It's like, this was a chapter. I have, there's a melancholy naturally, but I don't feel like defeated here. It feels like there's like literally the next picture for me would be him turning over this right shoulder, picking up the cups and peacing out. That's what I would feel, you know, and that's exactly it. You stuck it out, or you dove deep, worked hard in the shadow phase, recognizing that what still you can take from these lessons, this wisdom, this understanding of the difficulties of so many years and so much suffering, you know, to come out emotionally in a better place, maybe still a little bit more reserved, a little bit more understanding of boundaries, of your own personal boundaries, of your own, again, back to the patterns. They're telling me look underneath. Yeah, with the Hierophant in the reverse, they said coming out of old structures and old patterns. You know, it's the same thing for me, same energy. This is beautiful, pile 3. Okay, let's see the challenge within all of this that's happening now. The resurrection. Holy shit. No shit. The challenge. Of course, this is going to be your challenge. This is what you're going through. This is how you're integrating it. This is what your next step of your life, the evolution of the next phase in your life. It's again about finding that silver lining in the situation and allowing for the renewal and rebirth. You know, again, that's that silver lining. That's exactly the energy. Counting your blessings and contemplating how to grow from your hurts. That's what this is about. How do I grow from these past hurts? And that's an emotional maturity with that King of Cups on the bottom there. Oh, that's lovely. It is a gift within this challenge. Don't get me wrong, but that's going to be the hardest part for you, is the resurrection part. Who am I now? What does that mean to be me now? It's exciting and scary all at the same time, and beautiful. I get it. And your gift. Defend to the end the worthwhile. And the worthwhile, my friend, is you, that you have not been defending in some way. The spirit of you is what I'm getting. The things that really matter. Again, coming back to who am I now? What is it? What do I value now? What's important to me now? I'm going to read a passage from the book. The first paragraph, excuse me. Beneath the illusions, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrancy, aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside, for the heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that is compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we are to be forever lost in confusion, doubt, and despair. You are a sacred warrior, a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief and also the grief of the world. You have raged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it is exceptionally powerful, it can too easily be smothered under lies and fear. Stop making such a big deal out of things. Love is a big deal. That's all there is. You're being asked to stay strong and stand your ground. That's it. I read a little bit more because Spirit asked me to, but that was so beautifully fitting for the energy I'm feeling for you. This is the gift. Defending your character, your soul's truth, your true soul blueprint. Amazing. Okay, let's see what your advice is. We have tankard, celebration, fun, and enjoyment is coming in for you. Younger man, dealings or relationships with a younger man. This can have to do with you. This can have to do with people around. It can just do with masculine energy or younger or under-evolved or less evolved energies also. And dog. Nice. Protection from a powerful friend, but you're protected. Wouldn't worry about that at all. And I definitely feel like it's Spirit's a powerful friend too, but truly a powerful friend. It can't even be a canine. There's like your spiritual protector that you have. That's beautiful. Okay, my collective, your final messages for real, closing guidance. You can ask a yes or no question. I'm just going to piece these three together. We're going to roll 3 times, piece these sentences or words together and apply it to what we've discovered. If it passes an 18, I'm going to break down the number. So we have an 8, a 2, and 3, which brings us to 13. It says good omens. We have a 7, a 4, and a 5, which brings us to 16, which is seek aid. And then we have a 7, a 4, and a 3, which is 14, seek truth. So good omens, seek aid, and you will find that truth. Seek truth. Good omens will come from seeking aid and seeking truth. That's it. That's the one. That's beautiful, my pile 3. This is a difficult journey, and you've been on it, and you've done well, my friend. I know you may not feel that way, but this was your journey. You now again accept it, allow it. Now let's transform it. I got you. I love you. I'm sending you so much love. Keep watering your lives. If it was helpful in any way, please let me know. Until next time, ciao.